In a small town nestled between rolling hills, there lived a young man named Arjun. He was intelligent, hard-working, and full of dreams. His mind was always filled with new ideas, grand ambitions, and lofty goals. But Arjun had one habit that often created obstacles in his path. He talked too much about his plans whenever he learned something new or set a goal. He couldn't keep it to himself. He would announce his ambitions to his friends, family, and even casual acquaintances. If he planned to study late into the night, he would inform everyone around him. If he aimed to start a new project, he would discuss it at length before even taking the first step. Arjun believed that by sharing his dreams, he was reinforcing his commitment. He also enjoyed the attention and encouragement he received from others. His friends admired his confidence. His family took pride in his aspirations, and his teachers appreciated his enthusiasm. But despite all his big talks and grand plans, Arjun struggled to make progress. He often found himself losing motivation before even starting the real work. One evening, while walking through the town square, Arjun saw an elderly sage sitting under an old banan tree. The sage, known as Akaraya, was respected for his wisdom and knowledge. Arjun had often seen him observing people in silence, and today the sage's eyes seemed to rest on him. Akaraya beckoned him closer and asked, "My child, I have heard you speak of many grand dreams. Tell me, have you achieved them yet?" Arjun hesitated. He had set many goals but had little to show for them. He sighed and replied, "Akaraya, I try my best, but things don't go as planned. I lose motivation or face obstacles that I cannot overcome." Akaraya smiled knowingly and said, "Let me tell you a story, my son. Perhaps it will help you understand why, many years ago in a distant village, there was a poor farmer named V. He lived in a small hut and barely made enough to feed his family. But Ver had a dream. He wanted to turn his small piece of land into a vast and fertile farm filled with lush green fields and golden crops. Unlike others who often spoke about their struggles or aspirations, Ver never talked about his plans. He quietly worked hard, saving every little coin he earned. The villagers were curious. They would often ask him, "Ver, why do you work so hard? What are you saving for?" Ver would simply smile and reply, "You'll see when the time is right." Years passed, and Ver continued his silent labor. With every harvest, he saved a little more. Slowly, he began buying small patches of land around his field. He worked tirelessly, improving the soil, planting better crops, and using his earnings wisely. One day, the villagers were stunned to see Ver's transformation. What was once a tiny patch of land had become a vast, flourishing farm. A grand house stood where his old hut used to be. People whispered in amazement, wondering how he had achieved so much. While they were unaware of his plans, an old friend visited Ver and asked, "Why did you never tell anyone about your dream? We would have encouraged you." Ver smiled and said, "When you speak too much about your goals, two things happen first. People discourage you, some out of jealousy, others because they don't believe in your vision. Second, the energy you spend talking takes away from the effort you need to achieve your dreams. Words are like arrows. Once shot, they cannot be taken back. I chose to let my success speak for itself." Arjun sat in deep thought as Akaraya finished the story. The words sank into his heart, and he finally understood his mistake. Akaraya continued, "When you talk too much about your ambitions, your mind tricks you into feeling as if you've already achieved something. The excitement fades, and you lose the drive to work towards it. Not everyone will celebrate your dreams. Some will doubt you. Some may even try to pull you down. That is why the wise let their actions speak louder than their words." Arjun looked up with determination in his eyes and asked, "Akaraya, is it too late for me to change?" Akaraya smiled and said, "Of course not the moment you realize a mistake and decide to correct it. That is the moment of true change from today, speak less and act more. Let your hard work make the noise, not your words. That day marked the beginning of a new journey for Arjun. He stopped discussing his goals with everyone. Instead, he focused on his studies, worked diligently, and kept his ambitions to himself. When asked about his plans, he would smile and say, "You will see in time." Months passed, and Arjun saw a remarkable change he was achieving. More, his confidence grew, and he no longer needed validation from others. His results improved, and his discipline strengthened. When the results of his final exams were announced, Arjun had topped the school. His friends were amazed at his transformation and asked, "How did you do it?" Arjun simply smiled and recalled, "R's words, be silent and get everything." As time passed, Arjun became a successful entrepreneur, known for his wisdom and discipline. He never boasted about his plans, but his actions and achievements spoke for themselves. People admired him, and many sought his guidance. Whenever someone asked him the secret to success, he would say, "Dream big, work hard, and let your success be your voice." Sometimes silence is the most powerful tool, and so Arjun's journey became an inspiration to many, proving that true success comes not from speaking but from doing.